The one thing I'm realizing more and more is that I really want to be able to, if nothing comes out of this, I want to be able to put my thoughts together better for these videos. And earlier today, I was coming up with the script, the idea for the video today. And the idea was that I was gonna make a video about the concept of boiling the frog. You might have heard of that. If you don't, you can look it up. It's pretty easy. So the idea of the video is gonna be about how technological advancement has been kind of the water and the pot that we've been sitting in, we being humans. So we're kind of the frog that's being boiled. And the boiling is the AI. And so as I was trying to come up with the idea, to write down my talking points for the video, it's like, let me try to expand on these topics. Let me use Claude. That's what I've been using lately for some other side projects that I'm trying to make. But I try to not use it for the videos. And as I'm gonna get to it now, I got into Claude and I said, hey, help me expand these ideas. Is my structure okay? Kind of like reflecting on my idea and kind of having it give me feedback. And then I kind of fell in the trap. I kept talking to it and telling it how, add this, do that. And I stepped back. I stepped a little back and said, this isn't what I wanted to do. I didn't want Claude to write a script for me for my videos. I want my videos, at least the ones where I'm walking in the woods and talking, to be just a natural flow of the conversation, of the speech. And so I stopped. I left the chat, turned the phone off, and I took a walk. I'm still on the same walk, walking with my dog. So yeah, I'm gonna try to explain, or just not explain. I don't know. I'm not explaining anything. I'm just gonna talk about how we've gone as a species we've gone through this kind of huge advancement for society before. The best example that I can come up with, and most recent, would be how tools like the washing machine, the fridge, the dishwasher, they gave women more time. This is in direct relationship to the women's rights movement and further the civil rights movement. So that technological leap that we took in the early 1900s to completely change the fabric of society. Women are now in places of power more than ever before. And some would argue that women are attending schools at a higher rate, or enrollment in universities than men are. and you can look at the data for that. I'm sure it varies from place to place, but there's a trend where women are attending school more than men. That's not why I'm bringing this up. I brought this up, like I said, because the fabric of our society completely changed when women had equal rights to men. I don't want to argue about the equal part. I know there's still inequality in many aspects of our society. I just want us to look at the overall picture. And the overall picture is that there was a technological breakthrough which led to a huge change in the fabric of our society. I think we can all agree on that. This is how I'm trying to think about AI. How is it going to change the fabric of our society? Well, one of the questions that I was coming up on was our destiny, if this, I don't know if there's a better word, but let's just use destiny for now. Was our destiny as a species to connect, create, live with intent, love and be with other people? If that is our purpose, then does AI help us move closer to that? Because we can all agree, I think, that the last decade specifically, we've been driven far away, further than ever before, I think, from that theoretical goal of humanity, of us as a species. With I don't want to get sidetracked and talk about Facebook and social media, but that's what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the continuous isolation from each other. We feel connected because we have access to each other over our phones in an instant. We have never been more disconnected in human lifetime. So yeah, again, is AI, will it help us move closer to that goal, the goal of being human, which is to create, love, experience nature, be with one another, dance, and also the bad things about being human: grieve, loss, mourn, everything that makes us human. Will AI help us be that more? Well, the other question that I was coming up on was that in all the technological advancements that we've gone through, we traded off some kind of job for more time, usually. So the wheel closed the gaps between us, between humans. The press scaled the spread of news and media. I think that question of what we get back from letting AI spread through everything, how do we use what we get back from that? Because while calculators and computers give us back time to do more with those tools, AI can do every step of a process. The real argument is we can't be passive, or rather we can't let passivity engulf our lives because AI can now do everything. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. But we can't just be passive. Yeah, yes, AI. We can't stop AI. I think the cat is out of the bag. AI will take over as many processes as it can in our life. But we just cannot be passive in what we do with the time that's allotted to us because of this advancement. So just because let's just say that jobs are just wiped out for the majority, and the government decides to, okay, well, universal basic income is necessary because people can't buy groceries. Well, what do we do then? We get money in our bank account. We'll go buy groceries that's enough to feed us for a month, or every month that we get them, whatever, that would work. Then do we just sit around? We just keep scrolling on our phones? I don't think that would be a good idea for humanity. We would lose. Maybe it won't happen instantly, and I hope it won't happen to everybody, but we will lose our what's been built into us for millions of years. It's encoded in our DNA to be creative, to interact with people, to form bonds. We can't just let that go away by doing what we've been doing, which is go to work, come back from work, sit on your phone, go to sleep. We can't just take the phone part and make that our whole day. So, I don't know, a lot of people have hobbies. I hope you do have a hobby. I hope you can find a way to be creative, find a creative outlet. I know there was those first two, since 2023, the last 3 years basically, people are just, so amazed by what images AI can create and all this useless stuff, having this much capability in creating media rather, because you're just oversaturating the pool of art. I haven't seen a piece of art online, at least, that I've been amazed with, because you've seen everything now, and you know that you can, knowing that you can create something almost instantly now takes away from finding something that's been done before. On my break I took in February, where I traveled, I was at there was art in this place I was at. There was human-made art. Humans were creating art right there, sitting in front of their canvas painting. And I tried to spend as much time there were other people around, so I just tried to spend as much time as I could looking at them, just admiring that they're expressing themselves in this very, very organic, very natural way. I was trying to come up with when I was coming up with my idea, this video idea, I try to come up with a thing to leave you at the end with. And the closest and most realistic thing for anybody to do to help themselves from being in the habit of giving up judgment and intent and the nature of randomness that we experience. What I wanted to say is that I want to. I'm gonna leave this in. I'm not gonna cut it. Go to when you want to find your next restaurant to go to, whether breakfast, lunch, whatever, dinner. Try to ignore the rating. Why am I saying this? The rating system is there to take away the burden of judgment from you. So before we had Google Maps and ratings and Yelp and whatever, you had to go experience a restaurant to find out what it was like. Thanks to Yelp and all these other rating services, you can just look at a rating at a glance. You can just search restaurants in your area. You sort by rating. You pick the best one because that's what other people have said, and you trust that. And you go to a restaurant. Chances are you have a good time, and you like it because that's what most people thought. And so back to my point. Try to go on your next outing. Try to go to a restaurant that, even if you look at the ratings, even if you do that, try to go to one that is not the highest rated. In fact, actually, that might even bypass the point I'm trying to make. Maybe just go out and go to the first restaurant you see. And obviously, I'm not saying, if you're feeling Chinese, I'm not saying go to an Italian restaurant. I'm saying, how do I put this? Ignore the rating. Go there, find out for yourself. The reason I'm saying this is because we're passing on the burden of judgment to a collective apparatus built to make our life easier. This is how I can tie back the boiling frog that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. By us being able to just look at a rating and just choose the best one and go to the restaurant is not as far removed as us choosing to let AI write an essay, create a video, create an image, automate a workflow. Those things are very close, because in the work, in the essay, in the email writing part, that's the same thing as the ratings, because judgment and intent are taken away from you and given to another entity to take care of. That is how the pot starts boiling while we're still in it, not realizing. Even if you're against AI, even if you love AI, there's still things you can do to take back some of what makes us human. Anyway, I hope I made some sense. I hope you got something out of the video. Hopefully, I should be back on schedule. There is no schedule. I'm joking. Yeah. live life to the fullest, and I'll see you on the next one. What are you smelling?